And welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. You know, those who know me know I've been around a while in this industry, and for 35 years I've been doing real estate, commercial real estate. And what I found was things wouldn't be able to close because people wanted certain things done to their property. A lot of times there was construction work that needed to be done, and then you had to wait for for them to hire someone to clean it out, get rid of the junk. Same thing in residential property. Someone breaks their lease, or the lease is over, and they leave a house a mess and a nightmare, and somebody has to go there and remove the debris. Well, this guy next to me, he's the one that's stuck doing it. With me is Josh Corley, with Corley debris, Corleys with an S.
Yeah, debris removal.
Okay, so the first question I got to ask you is why? Why'd you pick that?
So I like helping people. It's always been something that I take pride in, and it makes me feel good. So I've always had a trailer, and I've always just helped friends move here and there. Maybe about 5 years now. So I just figured I could make some money with it.
So you do that. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff in the real estate end, and people leave their property with a lot of crap.
Absolutely.
But some people leave their property with a lot of good stuff. What do you do when, like, someone leaves a couch that's in great shape and whatever?
So it's actually works out great that my wife's a teacher. So she has different avenues for me to go through as far as donations.
Okay.
Teachers always need things for their classrooms.
Right.
So I do run across a lot of desks and bookshelves.
Uh-huh.
So that that works out great. And if she knows anybody that might be in need of something, usually it works out. Or I also like to donate to Goodwill or Salvation Army. Just take it to them, and hopefully it goes to a good home.
Okay. What's the coolest thing you found?
So the coolest thing I found was I had a client. Her mom passed away, so she inherited the house. So she had me go through the whole house and just take everything away. So I found some old bank books from 1920.
Wow.
So it's just really cool going through that, seeing the difference in obviously our money now, and then how everything looked then, and how they kept records on everything.
Was there anyone left in there? No, just
No,
kidding.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay, so you did that, but I know from my past that some houses are left like a disaster.
For sure.
And you remove debris. You're not a house cleaner. Okay? So, and I know from speaking to people who do what you do that, all right, so you know what? If the refrigerator has some stuff in it, they'll just throw it out. No big
Right.
deal. But if if it was a murder scene and there's blood stains all over, they're not cleaning it.
Yeah. No.
Okay? But do you do it by yourself, or do you have a team?
I usually do it by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's always better to work by yourself. No one over your shoulders, nothing.
Yeah, I've ran into issues where I could use some help, but at the end of the day, there's always ways to tackle everything.
But some stuff is heavy, like refrigerators
Yeah,
and stuff
there's
like that.
furniture dollies, and those are my best friends.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay, so who's your clientele? Where does most of your work come from?
So I get a lot of business from Facebook Marketplace, just people posting on there, hey, how can I get rid of this? Does anybody know anybody? So a lot of my clientele is that. I do partner with a couple property management companies.
Okay.
So if there's any issues with their dumpsters are overflowing or anything like that, or if somebody puts a couch by the dumpster that they shouldn't have, usually I get called to remove that. Yeah.
So then, let me ask you this: since you have a trailer and since you move stuff, if Mary calls you up, can Mary call you up and say, "I just bought a couch from Goodwill and I can't get it to my house"?
Absolutely.
Can you get that done for them?
Absolutely.
I mean, I kind of know the industry, and what's ironic is that one person will start something, and then they think that person's making $1 gazillion, so they're going to do the same thing. When I started this 30 years ago, there was nobody doing this. Now everybody with a cell phone is a videographer, photographer, and a talk show host. That's just the way it is.
Right.
So you add the other pieces in, like we do books to audio. We do audio books for people and all kinds of other video stuff, and we do a lot of YouTube stuff. But Do you find that those other people are competition, or I look at it this way? I coined the phrase co-opetition because there was always enough work for everybody.
Absolutely.
So if had a place like I did and you were a good guy, we'd work together. We'd co-op and kind of competition, but not in mean.
Yeah.
And if you were not so nice, I would just totally ignore you. Okay, I think that's how it has to be in that way, and I don't think people understand. So you're going to pick up this junk or debris, and you're going to take it to the dump.
Essentially.
There is a cost to go use the dump.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that.
Not at all.
Okay, and I don't think people understand that if you come to my house and you see it's an hour job, they think that, well, I'm paying him for an hour, why is it so much? But it's not an hour.
Yeah, there's definitely more costs involved than just the labor.
Right, there's
Yeah.
gas,
Yeah.
there's the
Disposal.
dump fee,
Yep.
and the hour that it took you to load, it's going to take you another 45 minutes to unload.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's like your biggest concern in what you do?
I'd say just, if you don't have the proper equipment to handle something, I have to know that it's okay to, call someone else I know that would do the job and just give the business to them. And know that I'm not really losing a client. I'm helping someone else gain,
Right.
in that aspect. So that's probably the hardest thing. Just overcoming your own ego, knowing that you can't
Right, you can't
tackle everything.
Right, and I always say you can't be a brain surgeon and a proctologist. Pick what you're good at
Yeah, right.
and do it. And again, what you do is strenuous and
Yeah.
heavy lifting and stuff, so you don't have to go to the gym.
Right.
That takes you. I don't need to go to the gym. I have 2 jobs to do.
And 3 daughters at home, so
Right.
they keep me running.
So we know that you get stuff from property management stuff and from Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
What do you get most of? Do you get mostly people who broken their lease and left the house?
I get a majority of, just someone, hey, I got this bookshelf and it's huge and I don't know what to do with it. I can't put it by the road, so can you just come grab it? And then when I'm there, I always try to go above and beyond and say, hey, I'm already here. I'm going to charge you this amount of money. If you'd like to add anything else, I won't charge you any more because the fees for disposal aren't going to fluctuate enough where it would break me.
Right.
And usually people are susceptible to that friendliness, and they're like, oh yeah, I got this vase or this box, and they just add stuff to it, and then yeah,
It becomes a whole job then.
yeah. So it's mainly just random, stuff here and there.
I am a thrift store and garage sale junkie, and I pass up on stuff because I can't move it.
Gotcha.
Okay. First of all, I had the heart attack and a stroke, so it's a little more difficult. And I pass up, like, I need this cabinet, a long, thin cabinet, almost like to put brooms and stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the perfect one, and it was like $15, mint
Perfect.
condition.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy it because it wouldn't fit my car. So I think people need to know that that's something that you can do.
Absolutely.
And again, and I was at Goodwill. I started at Goodwill. People need to know that they can call you, touch base with you, because the money that you would charge, I have to buy that cabinet now because I have
Right.
to have it delivered. Not that cabinet, but a new one. Okay, so the new one that I looked at that's exactly like that one was $149. Okay,
Yeah.
this one was $15 and it was in mint condition. Okay, so I don't
A
think
lot of money to save.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think people understand that there are other paths to go. Do you get a lot of construction debris?
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people tearing up sidewalks or parts of their driveway, or like the walkways from the driveway to the door.
Right.
A lot of stuff. People tear that up.
That's heavy stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm good. You do it, and I don't have to. Just saying.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
it being in Florida, there's obviously ACs are pretty
Oh, right.
pretty big to be worked on. So a lot of the concrete slabs that the ACs sit on, sometimes if a person gets a new AC, they usually put it on a new slab.
Oh, wow.
So I've taken a lot of those out as well.
And I mean, I know that I have a home in an HOA,
Mhm.
and I just got a letter that I need to pull up the pavers because they're not straight.
Okay.
And I didn't put them there. I don't really care that they're there. They don't really serve a purpose. So can I pull them? Well, I had the stroke, so me pulling them up is going to be difficult. And then I got to put them to the sidewalk, but I don't know that the garbage man will take it.
Yeah.
I don't think that I mean, there are things that you can't dump,
Right.
right?
There's different places for like certain materials. You have to take some to the landfill, some to there's a quarry where you dump like the concrete and stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's certain recycling centers.
So you have to drive to these and then unload.
Yeah.
So it's really a double job,
Yeah.
more than what most people might think.
For sure.
And you learn things over my a million years living that I needed another refrigerator. Well, there's a million of them on Marketplace, but how do I get it to my house?
Correct.
So I had to buy a new one, which I didn't want because I need two because of
Yeah.
my wife's business. She's a chocolatier. We need a refrigerator just for chocolate.
Nice.
So you can't. A refrigerator has to be moved upright.
Right.
It can't be laid down.
Correct.
So it's like someone says, "Well, why don't you rent a truck?" Well, I don't want to rent a truck. It's too heavy for me to be moving around.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with a washing machine. And you can get a great deal on a washing machine on Facebook Marketplace.
There's a lot out there.
Okay.
Yep.
But how do you get it from one place to another if you don't have a trailer?
Yeah.
And if, when the guy brought the one I bought, I was lucky to find someone who would deliver it. He was by himself, and I'm like, man, that's pretty heavy, and you're going to scratch my floor. And he really was, you guys, it's really almost like a science to move something.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay? Getting it through a door, all right, and then putting it where, he's got to get this washing machine through the regular door, make the turn, and then get it into the little closet washroom.
Yeah.
And it's in a space where you can't even put your fingers on the side. So it becomes like a science.
Yeah. Just like with anything, experience will help you accomplish all that stuff. You've done it so many times,
What to do.
what to do. Yeah.
So Facebook Marketplace, that's where you get a lot from Facebook, because
Yeah.
people go on Facebook Marketplace,
The
they want to buy
groups.
something,
Yeah.
and they need someone to move it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so now I get that. There was a lot of times I went to garage sale, didn't buy stuff, and there was times that I bought stuff that I thought I would be able to get home easy,
Mhm.
but I couldn't. But somehow I weaseled away. I bought a bicycle thing for the back of the car
Okay.
because it was this little desk,
Yeah.
and I hung that little desk. It was only like four blocks. When I was in Jersey, I bought a riding lawnmower,
Mm-hmm.
and I rode it home. so it
That's
wasn't-
one way to get it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
yeah.
wasn't too bad. So, are you connected with a bunch of realtors?
I have a few. Yeah. Yep. A few friends I went to high school with. They're doing real estate now, and they have someone moving in, a tenant moving in, and they need the stuff removed, so they'll give me a call.
And I get it because I have a couple of rental properties,
Mhm.
and it's very, very rare that when someone leaves, they don't leave something that has to
Yeah.
be moved.
Yeah, they don't
It's
usually
just
clean
too
or,
heavy.
or take everything.
Right. Cleaning is not your expertise, but there's going to be something that they don't want to move, a chair.
Yeah.
It's like, what do they do with it? And you'll find them on the side of the road, but they'll be there forever. Unless it's in really good condition, then someo's going to pick it up and
Absolutely.
refurbish it
Yeah.
and sell it.
Or if they're in an HOA and they get a
letter.
saying,
Yeah, that's right.
You better
You
come
gotta-
get this.
All right, we're getting to top of our time. How do people find you? You're
So
on Facebook.
Yep.
I know
So
that.
Facebook's probably the easiest way. Just Corleys debris removal on Facebook. Google also.
And you have a phone number?
Yep.
Which is?
Absolutely. 772-240-2332.
All right, guys. I'm going to tell you this. I've said it a million times. Always use a professional, because if you don't, it's going to cost you 5 times more in the long run and 10 times more in frustration and aggravation. And lastly, this poor guy's got 3 daughters that he's going to have to put through school. Man, that's tough. Mine's already 35. She's in and out and done, but it's hard, but I don't want to ask you this because I forgot. When you decided to do this,
Hmm.
did your wife say? Did you get support from your wife?
Yeah, she's very supportive. I've had multiple business ideas. I always have brainstormed different things I could try, and when I told her this, and I said, it's a way I can help people. I can make some money.
Right.
Um, and so it's a win-win, and she was all aboard for sure.
What you're doing would be 10 times harder if you didn't get family support. How old are your kids?
Absolutely. 11,
Okay.
9, and 7.
Okay. So when you told them, what were their attitude? Well, the little
Can
one
can we
doesn't
go?
matter.
Can we come?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. They love, even if they just ride in the truck and just watch me work and just to be around me, it's that's enough for them, and they love it.
Well,
So
one of the cool things about what you do is that every job you do is different, and you'll come across different things. Like
absolutely.
I thought that if I didn't do this in real estate, I would own a pawn shop because they deal with new things all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, it's boring. Life is boring.
For sure.
But I kind of get that. So, is there any jobs that you don't want to do?
Um, I want to do them all. Like I said, that's the biggest issue I run into is just knowing what my limit is. Because I try to do everything, and even if it's gonna be a difficult task, I try to still think of ways I can get it done. But I need to kind of bring myself back and
Yes.
say this isn't for me.
Every year I say I'm going to learn to say no, and I can't
It's
say
hard.
no because I want to help people.
Absolutely.
What's the phone number again?
772-240-2332.
Use a professional. Josh, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Everybody will be right back.